All right, guys, good morning.
Morning.
Appreciate you guys being here. Obviously, day one, you know how the kind of intensity and excitement that brings, and they did not disappoint. Tremendous amount of enthusiasm and intensity. Guys worked hard. You know, day one execution type, positives and not so positives. You know, that comes with it, but a lot of competition. Guys are on camp mentality. It's been a point of emphasis. It's all about working on the University of Miami and our systems, our positions, our technique, our fundamentals, our culture, our identity, and our edge. So glad you're here. Hope you guys enjoyed the players and having access to them yesterday. For me today, questions, please.
You had a handful of incoming freshmen who weren't here for the spring, along with some transfers who were practicing with the team for the first time. How do you feel about the integration and the chemistry?
It's good, you know, college football, with the changes that have happened with it, the team dynamics are really important, and we feel really good about the blend of having a little bit more than a handful of players that have been here for a couple of years, and then you have a talented freshman class that played last year and one that just arrived. Then you have some really talented transfer portal guys that arrived here, most of them in January, and then a couple of them here in the summer. So it's a neat blend because they're very like-minded individuals. They want to get after it. They've worked really hard, and they've taken to the standards of practice and just our protocols relatively quickly. So the leadership in day one was very solid. It's what you want to see, and someone we're going to keep working at to guide it the right way.
A lot of the guys yesterday were talking about how there has been more kind of player that leadership past. Do you agree with that from what you've seen so far this season?
I think every coach in the country would. You know, I think every coach in the country would. I think it's important to note that just because the coaches are here now and we report to camp doesn't mean that it stops being player-led. You know, and the best thing a coach can do is really prepare and conduct and organize and challenging practice. You know, scripting, the details of individual technique and fundamental work, angles, leverage, numbers, half position, all those things are really important. But at the end of the day, it's still got to be driven. We chase guys up and down the field. You probably see that. We've got coaches come out just dripping in sweat. But it's got to come from within, and we're getting really good push. We're getting really good results. So with internal leadership, and solely based on and focused on getting better.
Coach, you've been very vocal about him, the board in general, and his media days and obviously being an alpha leader. How did he do today in his first practice, kind of leading the group, and also piggybacking off of it? Is it a challenge to get everybody kind of in that cohesive way?
Like,
is it a challenge, like just Cam Ward in general
right.
today? And then
good first day. Good first day him. I think he's complemented by some other guys that are also involved in the leadership council. Guys like Jalen Rivers, Xavier Restrepo, Mark Fletcher, you know, who's already been cleared for practice and had some nice reps out there today. There's a lot of guys that I think have they're understanding that leadership is not just one person. They're doing it in groups, and he looked good. And I think when you have a group of guys that really want to do well and work hard, it becomes a little bit easier, but they still have to be put in situations where they have to show and demonstrate leadership. And I'm talking about tough and uncomfortable situations. Okay, is it hot? Yeah, we're in spider beds. Today is challenging because from a conditioning aspect, it's difficult. From a human resistance standpoint, it's not nearly what it's going to be now and later on in August and September. So from a day one perspective, it was really good. That has to be matched every single day by everybody on the team.
With the coordinators returning,
yes.
In terms of day one, does it make it easier to build on kind of what they established last year, and how much does that help you guys push them to?
It does from January all the way through. Because install now is familiar. Install now can evolve. It could be advanced and accelerated. And also you have guys in the program that can teach it to the young guys. So you know, we're going 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s out there. We're repping a lot of guys. And for that to be effective and productive, when the 3s and 4s go, it's got to look as close to 1s and 2s as possible from an assignment standpoint. We'll handle technique, we'll handle fundamentals. But the only way to get them there is extra meeting time, right? It's camp, you have all that time. And the leaders on the team, the older guys, showing them how to do things. That right there is worth, and continuity, to your point, is what makes that happen.
We have someone like Ruben Bain, who he said was already putting away last season and already focused on, you have your defense that also is, they told us yesterday, like, hey, they're going to get the work done and bring it up to the level. What does that mean to you that the players are also buying in to what this season is going to be, knowing that they're putting what happened in the past from last season away?
Well, that's the only way to play football. I think what we do really well is there really is no magic formula. I mean, there are no tweets, no speeches, no narratives, nothing that can replace working really hard and doing things to a certain level. And I think they understand that. But even more importantly, they're willing to work to make that a reality, become a really good football team. You know, every offseason you identify every ounce of coaching, playing, systems that you can improve upon. A deep dive. You know, everybody's held to a high standard. Everybody accountable. And I think it's neat that you can sit down face to face with these players and these coaches and get right at it. And put your feelings and your sensitivity aside, because we have to develop our identity and we have to develop an edge, and we have to focus on the University of Miami so that we can get out of camp what we need to get done.
Between Restrepo and George Salguero, you're adding Sam Brown to that mix. What did that bring? You have a third high-end receiver among that group?
Well, I think you got some guys that are competing besides, and you got Sam Brown, you got Nightcar out there, did really, really well. You got JoJo Trader, went out there and had a really good day. I think you can't discount Shamar Kirk. Ray had one of his best days, and Ray brings a lot of value in a lot of different areas also. So I think those guys are versatile enough where we can do a lot of different things and a lot of moving parts and keep people off balance. So you don't always see Restrepo in that one position. You don't always see Sam Brown in that position. As it relates to Sam Brown, it's awesome having him here. He's a real one, you know, and he certainly ups the level of competition and the level of play at that position.
From a physical standpoint, how would you assess most of your offensive team seems to be across the board compared to spring 2022?
Well, processes are taking their process-like steps, right? You always attack the trenches first, and I think that's often ignored in football, right? You want to be bigger, stronger, but you want to be athletic. You want to have balance, and you want to play with power. And there's guys on both sides of the ball up front that are going to be NFL draft picks. How high depends on how much we can develop and how well they can play. Their focus on Miami football will also determine that as well. So is that different? It's extremely different. It's looking more and more like it needs to look like, and we've really got to push extremely hard in camp to make sure that we develop the technique, the fundamentals, the physicality. You know, our players were informed last night, you cannot practice soft and be coached soft and expect to play hard, right? You must commit to a certain level of physicality and effort on a daily basis. And going home and getting coddled and hearing how great you did and how you deserve more is not it. People got to earn that out here every single day. There's an extremely high level of respect between these players and what they're trying to do. So it's an exciting time. I know I come to these things straight faced because it's hot as hell out there, about dehydrated right to the ground. But that was a really solid first day. Effort was good. We're not in football shape yet, and it's our job to get them there. By day 16, it should look way different. By day 22, it should look way different. But processes up front, it looked like a good battle up there up front at all levels, the ones and twos and the threes.
Coach, there's a lot of expectations from the outside. I'm curious, what are your expectations for this team for this season?
I don't think there's ever an expectation outside or anyone anywhere that could ever match the expectations from within. If you played at the University of Miami, especially during a time when Miami was reigning college football, your expectations, your experiences, your hardships, your good times, your rough times, your moments of getting knocked on your butt and having to get multiple surgeries, your experiences being part of a brotherhood that's been unmatched, your expectations are going to be absolutely through the roof. The daily expectation is more important, and that daily expectation is to give every ounce of what we have as a staff to every single player on this roster. As a coach, as a mentor, as a teacher, and that's our focus.
there's a long ways to go still.
Here it comes. You're loading it up. It's like a Kenta Colby windup right there. Go ahead.
Okay, so body type, movement skills, what type of first impression did Justin Scott make?
Oh yeah, he's a real one now. 6'4", 300. I think he's now 300 flat. Really athletic. You saw when he played basketball. When I watched him play basketball, he's never on the ground. Very heavy-handed. Light feet. Knowledgeable, smart. Plays with good leverage. No, that guy's going to be special. You could throw a lot at him. And today we threw him in there. Yeah, you got a lot of reps today. You got a lot.
Coach, you've been around the game for so long, obviously year 3 for you. Is there still excitement? Is this like the first day of school? You know, is there still that we're getting things started, getting, you know, ready to kick things off for you?
Yeah, it's every year. I think anybody that coaches football, every year you feel like it's the best one. That never changes. I think anytime a person doesn't feel that way, they gotta, maybe go sell ice cream. Not ready for that. We've worked really hard, guys. We've worked really hard. We came here on a mission. We came here with a purpose. Every day's been intentional. We dedicate our entire existence to the University of Miami. It's people, it's players, the community, and it was fun to see some of the pieces that are in place now. And now it's really exciting to get up there and start making all the corrections, the assessments, the moves to continue moving this thing forward. So yeah, the excitement right now in this building is through the roof for the right reasons and for real reasons.
Last question.
Yesterday, he said his daddy played in the NFL. Did that go into the process of recruiting him? And talk to us a little bit about Cam.
Well, for recruiting Cam Ward, we mentioned it the other day, like Cam Pruitt. Oh, okay. Bobby Pruitt. Bobby Pruitt is one of the more talented young linebackers I've been around. He's extremely athletic. His father was a great player and a great athlete. The mentality of how he plays, the mentality of his approach to the game, his upbringing, his mom, his father, his coaches, they're very like-minded individuals. That guy's been like groomed to really perform and push at a high level. Do we take that into account? It's hard. I've seen 4'2" parents give birth to 7'4" giants. I've seen guys that were jockeys in their life give birth to gargantuan defensive tackles. So, I think you assess size and growth potential for a recruit that you might, want to see if they're going to grow more. But in his case, heck, I don't know. Probably not, but his father looks like he could still play now.